What's up, Duck? I am back in Bali. It's been about 2.5 years since I've been here, so it is good to be back. I am staying here at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Sanur Beach. So it's probably about 1 kilometre up to the centre of town, so I'm going to walk up the main road and see what has changed. I've been coming here for more than 20 years and things do not change much in Sanur. Pretty much stayed the same, but there are a couple of new things. One is a new turtle rehabilitation centre. It's actually on the grounds of the Hyatt Regency. It's sponsored by both Hyatt and next door the Andaz, which is both part of the Hyatt group. There is also the new Icon Bali shopping mall, which I'm going to walk up to now. I need to change some money. I think Icon Bali opened about 12 months ago. It's been under construction, or it was under construction last time I was here. It had been under construction for several years, but it's quite big. Not huge, but for Sanur, it is a large shopping mall. I'm not that into shopping malls. I absolutely hate shopping, but I do need to buy some new clothes, so I'm going to go check out the clothes shops. What I do know, there is a heap of nice restaurants in there, whole range, Balinese, Italian, Japanese. I'll go check those out. And best of all, there is a cinema. I think it costs about $6 to go to the movies here in Indonesia. Today is the 1st of April 2025. It is now officially the end of the rainy season. The rainy season ends in March. Now today is a little bit cloudy, a little bit blue skies. The taxi driver from the airport last night said that it was no rain yesterday, but the day before, so Friday, it was bucketing down. But the forecast for the rest of this week is just cloudy. What I'm expecting is morning times to be like this, a little bit sunny, and then overcast in the afternoon. And it's not that warm. It'll get to about 30 degrees today. It's about 28 degrees now at 10:30 a.m, but it's not so humid, a little bit. Not steaming hot like it normally is in Bali. Probably July, August, it gets steaming hot. Just over there is Naga restaurant. So I'm sort of at the front of Andaz now. That is a really good Cantonese restaurant. I've been there a couple of times. I'll show you some photos of the food. The beef was really soft and tender and delicious. I would like to go back there, but my mission this time is to visit some of the top rated restaurants. I've been looking on Google Maps, looking for highly rated restaurants. There are so many, there are hundreds of restaurants here, but I found a few that have either 4.8 out of 5 or 4.9. No 5 perfect scores, but there's a few with 4.8 and 4.9, and they have hundreds of reviews, so they have to be good if they're keeping up that rating. This is the front of Andaz, so this is part of the Hyatt group. I stayed here last time. Now it was mega expensive back then. It was $400 a night. I used points, so it didn't cost me anything. I would not pay $400 a night. I did look at how much it would cost to stay there now, and it was even more expensive. It was about $700 a night. It is a busy period. I think it's school holidays starting in Melbourne, and next week school holidays in Sydney. So look, this week it was about $700 a night, and then next week it was about $600 a night. I looked into the future, like into May, and it was still over $500 a night. I cannot justify spending that much. It is very nice. I'll show you some video from the grounds and the room. It is very nice, but $600 a night, that is mega expensive. I'm staying here in Sanur for 7 nights, and then I'm going to catch the ferry across to Nusa Lembongan, which is one of my favorite islands. It is really a chill island. It is nothing like Gili Trawangan, nothing like PP or Phuket. It's just a very chilled out island. So I've got to change money. So 10,400 for Australian, 16,000 for US. I have some US dollars I need to change. So 16,500 for US. There is a huge range of restaurants. Taquisa Mexican food. You get pretty much everything here. The Balinese, the Indonesian, you get Mexican food. There's a Swedish restaurant up here. There's heaps of Japanese. Speaking of Japanese, there's one there. Kiko. There's like 7 or 8 restaurants that I know about Japanese. Right next door is Kuu Japanese, part of the Maya Resort. I've been there, very nice. Last time I went to a Mexican restaurant in the southern part of this road, and all the staff were Balinese, and I saw the owner and he was Balinese, and I said, hey, what's the deal? Why do you have a Mexican restaurant? He told me he used to work on the cruise ships between the US and Mexico, and he just fell in love with Mexican food, and he came back to Bali and opened a Mexican restaurant, and I tell you what, their tacos were sensational. There's a Thai restaurant here, Ulu, the best Thai and Indonesian food. Now, I spent 3 months in Thailand at the end of last year, so I'm a little bit out of Thai food, so I will choose somewhere else. I also need to get a haircut. How much is it to get a haircut in Bali? This looks a bit fancy. Yeah, 210,000, so 20 bucks. I'm sure I can get it cheaper. Another one here, the Shampoo Lounge. I think last time in Indonesia I got it for like 60,000 rupiah, 6 bucks. That is better than the 30 dollars my local barber charges me in Sydney. Another authorised money changer. So about the same, 10,400 for Australian, 16,500 for US. The Balinese government have issued new mandates for trying to control tourists. So bule behaving badly in Bali. One of them is to only change money at authorized money changers. You'll see so many shops. You go into these tourist shops and they will change your money for you. They don't display it out the front, but if you ask them, they're like, yep, we change money, but they're not authorized. So mandate from the government, the local government of Bali, only change money in the authorized. It's probably best. You'll probably get ripped off in these little shops. Probably won't get the best exchange rate. So probably better to stick to the authorized ones. Now, I flew into Bali last night. The flight was late thanks to Qantas. They had no entertainment on board. That was the issue. They had problems with the entertainment system. So the flight was delayed about an hour and a half of them trying to fix it, but they did not fix it. So 6.5 hours with no entertainment. So we got into Bali probably about, they did make up some time, probably about 45 minutes late. And it took probably the longest ever to get through immigration. The longest part was queuing up to pay for your visa on arrival, which is 500,000 rupiah. Probably took more than an hour. It seemed to take probably 10 minutes per person for them just to take 500,000 rupiah. And they do accept credit cards or cash. But then straight out, and the taxi took less than 15 minutes to get to the Hyatt Regency from the airport. There was absolutely no traffic. So that was probably about 11:30 at night. So you'll see some video. We went via the bypass, that cut off some time, and hardly any traffic. So literally probably 12 or 13 minutes to get to the Hyatt. Last time I probably took about maybe 20-25 minutes. That was a late afternoon. More traffic. Now that lever, custom lever, that has been there a scrillion years. The first time I came to Bali, I remember that. Not open, so I don't know if it's closed or just they're having a little break. It's only 10:30, 11 now. I'll see you later on the trip whether that's here. So 7 days here. I'm hoping to make a fair few videos. Plenty of shops doing tourist packages to Pregina. Some really good scuba diving over in Pregina. Also Nusa Lembongan. Don't know if I'll do some diving this time. Last time I went there, the seas were quite rough. We did a few very strong drift dives because of the current, but still saw plenty of turtles, saw moray eel. So there's plenty to see under the ocean at Nusa Lembongan. I might do some snorkeling. Here is Cafe Smorgas, which is the Swedish restaurant. I have never eaten there. That has been there as long as I can remember. Apparently they do good Swedish meatballs. Billy's has been there a long time too. There's a Cocomart, good little I guess it's more like a grocery store, convenience store. You can get cheap bintangs in there. Over there is Teras, it's a sports bar. So they show all the English Premier League, UFC, all the major sporting events. I prefer to go to the Place to Be, which is a little sports bar in the southern part of Sanur. So I'm going to go there on the weekend for the Formula 1. Well, it is starting to get warm. I've probably been walking for more than 10 minutes now. This is new. The Chowk. The Chowk, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Indian. This was definitely not here, and this is on my list to visit. This I think has a rating of 4.8 on Google out of 5. I saw the photos, I'll show you some photos. It looks pretty good. Not a huge fan of Indian, but I do like it every now and then. Probably eat it once and then I don't want Indian for another 3 months. It's just so heavy. It is nice, very flavoursome, but just a little bit too heavy. There is Casablanca, one of the top nightlife areas of Sanur. You got to be careful. Look at that. If I was not looking where I'm going, you could end up in that. Ugh, it stinks too. Shitty water. I don't know what that is. That's disgusting. Casablanca. Years ago I went there and had some of the best ribs. There is a new restaurant over near the bypass called Nori's. Now that apparently has the best ribs. The girl I was sitting next to on the flight last night was telling me there's one in Sanur, sorry, one's here in Sanur, there's one in Seminyak. She went to the one in Seminyak and she said it is the best ribs. She said that they're that thick. You get a whole slab of ribs, so I will go check that out. So that's Nori's. Yay, Pregina is open again. Pregina is the best Balinese crispy duck that I've had. The last time I was here it was shut. They closed down during the pandemic and they've opened up again. That is good to see. But I think my restaurant quota is full for this trip. Can't eat everywhere. The Wicked Parrot. Now a couple of places worth mentioning. Griya Santrian, I've stayed there. Very nice 4-star resort. I would highly recommend that. Much cheaper than the Hyatt, but probably not by much, but it is very, very nice. Staff are lovely. And this is my pick of Italian in Sanur. The village. I've been here probably 4 or 5 times over the last 20 years. They do very good pizza. They have a proper pizza oven in there somewhere. There it is. That's where they cook the pizza. It's a fine dining restaurant inside. So I guess pizza and pasta, all the good stuff from Italy. Here we go, pizza. So you're looking at 145,000. So not cheap, but it's pretty good. It's very hard to get good pizza in anywhere in Southeast Asia, but their pizza is very good. Burgers, gnocchi, surf and turf. There is a Starbucks next door, but I avoid Starbucks at all costs. And next door to that is Soya Japanese, which again, probably my favorite Japanese in all of Bali. I've been there probably 4 or 5 times over the years. Again, it closed down in 2020, but then reopened probably 2022. I'll show you some video of the food that I ate there last time. Now I'm getting very close to Icon Bali shopping mall, so I'm going to skip ahead probably a couple more minutes. I will go at the front. I'll do a separate video on Icon Bali. I will go to the cinemas there, check that out. And here we are, Icon Bali. So this is the new shopping mall. That's it, I'll do a separate video on this. I won't do it as part of this. You can walk through the shopping mall to the front beach area. So tomorrow morning I'm going to walk up the beach promenade. So I'll end at the front of Icon Bali. And then I'll do a separate video inside. Go to the cinemas, have something to eat, check out the restaurants. Alright, so we're probably just over the top of the middle part of Sanur. Time for me to change my money at an official registered money changer. And then I'll get a cold drink It is starting to get warm. There's a list of Golden Monkey Chinese restaurant, Yakiniku Japanese, Subway, Kimikatsu, another Japanese, Blossom Steakhouse. Alright, so that's it for the first video from Sanur in 2025, 1st of April. Thank you so much if you have made it this far. Drop me a message, tell me that you watched the whole thing. And happy travels everyone, I'll be back soon.